Welcome back to Strength Coach Tutorials, and in today's tutorial we're going to continue our series creating this speed and agility workout creator. And for today's video we're going to add some more features, including our hidden box here, which has all of our programming features in it, which allows us to add any of our sections, our exercises, our titles, or really any information that we want to add to our template, and then we hide it away for easy printing. And then finally, we're going to add our exercise list, which is going to be a spot where you can keep track of all of the speed, agility, and movement exercises, and they can be categorized and added to your template easily. So let's get after it. We are starting off with the blank template that we created in the last video. That would be Strength Coach Tutorials number 50. And if you haven't had a chance to check that out, make sure you go back and check out that video so that you can see how we got to this point and created this template. But for today's video, we're going to add a lot of the programming features and the exercise storage capabilities to this template so that it becomes a workable piece of software that you can use to kind of program out your speed and agility and movement sessions, or really any sessions that you want to put on a template like this. So before we dig into it here, just a friendly reminder that if you are finding any value in these videos, please like and subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notifications so that you can hear when I'm putting out new videos. And for the month of August, I'm really making a concerted effort to try to put out new videos every Monday and Wednesday, so make sure you keep checking back for those. And truthfully, there's been a few extra videos coming out on Fridays as well. So trying to put out lots of content for you guys so that we can keep you guys evolving with your Excel game and create some new tools and have something to work with. So without further ado, we're going to get into this video here. So the first thing that we're going to want to do in order to program out our exercises is we actually have to add a place where we're going to keep them. So I have my tabs down here at the bottom, and I'm just going to add a new sheet, and I'm going to call this exercises. And when I'm doing some of these sheets, sometimes I would call that exercise pool, sometimes I would call it exercises, but it really kind of doesn't matter what you call it. It's just going to be a place where we store our exercises. And then I usually make these cells about 200 pixels or so wide so that we can start to put in our exercise database in there. And like I've shown in previous videos, if I just copy this and then control across and then I right click and paste width, I can make sure all of the cells are the same size. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to add a few exercises in here, and we're going to create our table, and I'm going to add my titles at the top. So the first one I'm going to put in is titles, and then sections, and we're going to go with warm-up. Let's say acceleration, max velocity, and maybe technique drills. Wow, I spelled that terribly. T-E-C-H, technique drills. So these might be some of the sections that I would have in my speed, agility, movement template. And I'm just going to turn this into a table. So if I take all of these cells here and I just highlight them, and I'm highlighting the second one too because I want it to know that these are going to be the titles, and I'm just going to put format as table, and I personally like this one here. It's just plain, and I'm just going to put my table has headers. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to start to add some values to this. So underneath here, I'm going to add warm-up, maybe technical, and application, potentiation, competition, conditioning, etc. And these are going to be places where I can actually pull my workouts out of. And I'll show you why we did it that way in a minute. But the next thing that we're going to do is I'm just going to add a conditional format to this that allows me to actually put in some headers. So it's going to look like this. So what I've done here is I go to the top right hand corner of the top left-hand corner of the table, and it's going to give me a little black down arrow. And I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go to conditional formatting and put new rule. And I'm going to format cells that contain cell value starts with, well, where is that? Sorry, specific test, beginning with, and then I'm going to use double stars as what I'm going to use to section off my titles. And then when I type in double stars, what I want it to do is I want it to make the background blue, and I want it to make, I don't know, the font white. So no underline, font style regular, and hit OK. No, actually, that's not what we want. We want a fill of blue, and we want the font color to be white. And hit OK, and then hit OK. So basically what I've done there is I've created an option to add a title. So if I just go double star and then mobility, it's going to automatically format that. And I'm going to change that rule a little bit so that it bolds those as well. So hold on one second. Conditional formatting, manage rules. I'll go back into this format, and I just want it to actually bold that as well. Hit OK, and then OK. Apply. So the reason I do it that way is just that allows me to now add titles kind of wherever I want. So starts, etc. And it just gives me an opportunity to add titles in my exercise list to keep things organized. So maybe under here I want to put world's greatest stretch. And then under acceleration, I don't know, maybe I want to have wall drills. And then single wall drill, double wall drill, triple wall drill. Maybe then I want to add starts, and I want push-up start, maybe half kneel start. I don't know, what's some other starts? Up tall and fall, etc. Maybe under max velocity, we want to add some top speed mechanics. So maybe marching A's, skipping A's, maybe running A's. Maybe we want to add some wicket drills. So maybe I want to go, I don't know, wickets and then 10-meter run in, something like that. And then maybe under technique drills, maybe I want to do arms. So I don't know, seated arms, standing arms, etc. So you can see kind of how this starts to get built out, and we can put these titles in anywhere to sort of separate out our exercises. Now, one other thing I should note is that I always leave the top row whenever I'm planning on doing a drop-down list empty. So this top row here, because when I go to choose my exercises, if the top row is empty, it will always start you at the top of the list. Versus if that was not empty, it would start me somewhere in the middle, and I would have to scroll up or down. So that's just a quick side note there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually name this table. So click anywhere on the table, click on table design, and I'm just going to call this TBL underscore exercises. Yep, I spelled that right. Okay. So TBL underscore exercises. So that's just a place where we can store all of our exercises. And if we wanted to add another movement skill, so maybe we wanted to put movement skills over here, then we could start to put our exercise list for movement skills under there, and it's going to automatically add those in. So then from here, what I want to do is I actually want to make like a little programming tool that I can use to pull all of my exercises into this template easily. So what I like to do is I'm just going to put this programming tool off to the side. So I'm gonna add a bunch of columns here, and all I'm doing is I'm just right clicking and hitting insert. So I need about 7 columns. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll make this one just small so that it hides out of the way. And let's start to add a few things in here. Maybe we want the team name in here. I'm gonna wrap this so that it just looks like that, and then center it. And then we want session, title, maybe in there, wrap that up. And then maybe I want notes or date in there, maybe category. Oh, and then, sorry, I'm gonna go with category, exercise name, supersets, reps, sets, rest, and notes. And I'm just gonna make these all a little bit bigger, maybe 100 kind of there. Then this one's probably gonna be about 200. These ones don't need to be quite as big, so we can bring those probably down to about 50. Rest can come down to 50 as well. And then our notes will make, I don't know, 200 as well, so that we have an opportunity to type in some notes. So I'm going to center all of these, bold them, make them Verdana so they match. And there we have it. So I'm going to actually make these red so that we know kind of where those start. And I'll make these red Verdana, middle, bold them. There we go. Let's just make this a little bit bigger so this fits. Let's go 130. Okay, so then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to put some boxes down here. I'm going to color this light gray so that I know where this sort of pattern is. And then I'm just going to fill this in with an inside kind of border. So if I go up to borders and then down to more borders, I can just take the inside border, put one across, and just make a cross pattern. And what that's going to do is it's going to fill all this in. And let's just put a thick border kind of around there. So that makes that stand out a little bit. And just to make it look kind of like our table, just for design purposes, we'll make it kind of look like that. So now we have a spot where we can put all of our exercises and names and things. So the next thing that I want to do is when I type something or pull something into here via a drop-down menu, I want it to show up in my template. So for example, under team name, let's delete this, and I want this to actually refer to here. So right now it says 0, but if I was to type in football team, it's going to put football team up there, and all the formatting and everything is going to be the same. But what I need to do is make it so that it doesn't show a 0 when I actually type something in. So I'm going to use a little if formula, and what that looks like is it looks like this. So equals if, open that up. I want to see if the cell that I'm looking at equals nothing or 2 quotations, then what I want it to do, comma, is show me nothing, or else if it doesn't equal nothing, I want it to show me the value in that cell. So now what you'll notice is there's nothing in the cell, but this stays blank. So now when I type in football team, it's going to show me football team there. But if I bring this back out, then it's going to disappear. So that's just a quick way to have cells show you a blank when there's nothing actually in it. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to go equals if this cell equals nothing, then show me nothing, else show me this cell, and then okay. And so I'll put speed template. So there you go. And then we'll do the same thing in here. So equals if this cell equals nothing, then show me nothing, else show me this cell. And hit OK. And maybe the date is speed conditioning workout number 1. So that shows up now. So you can see now we're adding like a little programming tool here on the left hand side that's going to allow us to put all of our exercises in here. So I'm going to do the same thing here. And in this case, we're going to put the superset under superset. So if this equals nothing, then show me nothing, or else show me this. Okay, I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna put this under exercise if that equals nothing, then show me nothing, else show me that cell. Okay, and then I'll put it under rep sets and rest equals if here equals nothing, then show me nothing, else show me reps. Okay, and because these are all together, I should be able to just drag this over and it should work fine. Whoops, because it's a merge cell, it's not going to like that very much, but these should all work. I'll just do the one in the merge cell. So equals if that equals nothing, then show me nothing, or else show me that. Okay, and what we should be able to do now too is I should be able to just drag all of these down and it should work fine, but oh, it's not gonna like that. Hold on a second. Let me do this one first. Okay, let me do this one second. Okay, and you can see what it's done is it's put that formula all throughout. So if I was to type in here, it's gonna automatically appear on the actual sheet. Maybe these three it'll let me do at the same time, I think. And then it might let me do this one by itself. Okay, so for whatever reason, Excel was just being finicky and it just made me kind of break it up. But it copied the formatting as well, so I'm just gonna put that thick black border back around the whole thing. Back to borders, and we're gonna go here, hit OK. Okay, so there's our template, and we should actually be able to start typing things in. So we might be able to put in like wall drills, and then A1, and then maybe we want 5 reps, 2 to 4 sets, and then maybe 45 seconds rest, and then notes, keep good posture. So that's kind of how this is gonna be working. I'm gonna put that shrink to fit in the superset box because that's a way to make the letters shrink down. So I'm just gonna select the whole superset box and hit right click, format cells, alignment, click shrink to fit, and then hit OK. So it's gonna automatically shrink that down. And then I'm just gonna center justify those. And there we go. So now we can type in supersets. So now what I want to do is I actually want to have this so that I can select my exercises out of a drop-down menu or type them in if there's other exercises that I want to use. So I'm going to select my whole category column, and I'm going to go to data validation, and I'm going to go to list, and the source that I want is going to be equals indirect, and then we need to use that table exercises that we created. So quotations TBL underscore exercises, and what I want to be able to select is the headers from that section to select what category of exercise that I actually want to use. So I go square brackets, hashtag headers, and then close off the quotation, and then close that off and hit OK. And what I'm now going to be able to do is select any of the headers that I actually put in my chart. So the way that that works, if we go back to our exercises, we got titles, sections, warm-ups, acceleration, max velocity, technique drills, and movement skills. Whew, that was a lot. And so we can now select any of those. And if we were to add another one, this is cool, then I would be able to select this is cool right away. And the reason I do it this way is because I want these lists to be expandable basically forever as you learn more exercises, more categories that you want to put things in. I want you to be able to expand your list basically unlimitedly. Okay, so then the next thing that I want to do is that if I select basically warm up, I want to be able to select the exercises based on that. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to select C6 and go to data validation and go to list, and I'm going to use this formula here. I'm going to go equals indirect, open it up, quotation, TBL underscore exercises, and then square bracket quotation. So everything in the quotation, it's going to turn into basically an array, and I'm going to add B6 to that. So I'm going to put in B6 and quotation, close the square brackets, quotation, and then close all the brackets. So basically what this is saying is I want you to choose the column out of table exercises that aligns with what B6 has in it, and I'm going to hit OK. And what that allows me to do now is select the exercises based on the column that I choose. And if I choose technique drills, I can choose those drills there. And acceleration drills, I can choose any of the acceleration. And you'll notice by putting the double stars there, it's easy for us to pull out where we have our titles and then look at our exercises underneath. Just a quick note that if you want to do your data validation that way, you have to have something in the actual box first, or else it's going to give you an error. So make sure that you've chosen your category first. So I should be able to drag this all the way down, and it should work kind of anywhere we want. So if I choose max velocity there, I should be able to choose any of my max velocity drills. Then the last piece I want to add to this is I want to actually be able to type in. So you can see if I try to type in drills there, it gives me an error right now. So what I'm going to do is go back to my data validation, and what I'm going to say is under error alert, I'm going to turn that off and hit OK. So now I can actually choose any of the drills, or I can type them in. So if I just wanted a one-off drill on the fly, it would be really easy for me to just type that in there. Or like I said, I can still go back and choose any of the drills that are already saved in there. So then everywhere else is all kind of set up now. And the last thing that I want to do is if I actually choose sections and say I want to title that the warm-up, I want all of these to basically bold and underline just to pull out certain sections in my actual template. So what I'm going to do is select here, copy all of those, and I'm going to put a conditional format on that. So I'll go back to Home, Conditional Formatting, New Rule, and I'm going to go down to where it says Use a Formula, and I'm going to go equals B6. So I just want to lock in the B, and then equals sections. And if it does equal sections, the format that I want is going to be, I want, let's say, bolded and an underline, hit OK, OK. So you can see now, if I choose sections, it just takes that warm up and bolds it and underlines it. So if I was to choose sections down here and put another drill in there, so it just allows me to sort of kind of pull out things in my template. So then I can put single wall drill, double wall drill, superset maybe A1, A2, reps maybe times 5, sets 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 to 2, rest none, 60 seconds, and then notes, maybe keep good posture. So you can see now we have this tool that we can start to use to program out our templates, and it's just really easy on the side here. And just to make it look nicer, we'll just center justify all of this, and that kind of keeps everything in the right spot. And then if I want to change stuff, I just change that, and away we go. So that works really well. And so in the next kind of videos, what we'll start to add is some of the automatic saving functionality and recalling old programs and that sort of thing. And that's where this tool becomes really powerful, as we can save and load sessions. So I hope this video helps you out. If it did, please like and share the video, and don't forget to check out some of my other videos. And in our next video, we will finish off this template. So thanks for watching.